In this short video, I'm going to discuss why I think Transit has become known as the worst zombies map of all time. And I think it comes from two main places, expectations and then YouTubers. I'll talk about these points, then add in my opinion at the end, telling why Transit has some of my best zombies memories ever, and why there are countless maps which I personally consider to be objectively worse experiences, but often get placed higher than the one we're going to be talking about today. This is also my first voiceover style analysis with a script, so any interaction with this video is much appreciated as well as a sub. Now let's talk about Transit, Call of Duty's most hated zombies map. If you've ever watched a zombies ranking or tier list video, then you've probably seen Transit appear near, if not at the bottom of that list. Before discussing this map, we need to go back to 2008 when World at War was first released. No one knew that a new mode titled Nazi Zombies would be unlocked after completing the campaign, so this addition was completely unexpected and there was no past maps to compare it to. Each additional map for World at War added unique experiences and things to do, such as gathering new perks or even a new machine called Pack-a-Punch, which allowed the user to upgrade their weapon for the first time ever. 2 years later, Black Ops 1 rolled around with its first map being Kino der Toten, which was originally planned for Call of Duty World at War, but got delayed and got added to the later Call of Duty instead. The expectations were still very low for the game mode as a whole, as there was yet to be a main Easter egg or anything to make it stand out from just being a fun side mode. Kino was much of the same, which was fine because of how well the previous game had been received. DLC 1 Ascension was also similar, but gave more travel mechanics, a new perk in PhD Flopper, and monkey rounds, which gave a new dynamic to what could be done in a zombies game. More and more content was added, with maps such as Call of the Dead, Shangri-La and Moon having full Easter eggs with a meaning to the larger story. Black Ops 1 concluded with an absolutely crazy end where on the map Moon you would literally send rockets to Earth to blow it up. This was shocking to see at the time, and the mode had progressed from linking simple teleporters at the start of Black Ops 1 to blowing up a whole nother planet in a single game, so there was unlimited potential for what the next installment could bring. But as we learned, high expectations can leave a lot to be desired, as after another 2-year wait, we got Call of Duty Black Ops 2 with its launch map, Transit. The map had new concepts with buildables, and it even introduced a new perk for players in Tombstone, which could save their items if no one was around to revive them, or even allow smart players to gain all 6 perks on the map and bypass the usual 4 perk limit. That wasn't all though, as the map was huge with many different locations all around which were connected by a single bus route. Fog added to the ambience, and scary denizens made running between these areas, all looking for secrets, both risky and rewarding. Everything was going well until the community saw through the fog and realised what this map could and should have been. The challenging fog was annoying, the denizens were obnoxious and blocked your vision repeatedly, and the bus that you rely on to travel will just randomly leave if you're not fast enough to jump on it. The cracks were beginning to show, just like the cracks in the ground from blowing the earth up in Moon, and spreading fire everywhere which makes zombies explode when killed, and this will kill you when you accidentally stand in it for too long. All of these things took a while for the community to see though, and future DLCs contain some of the most liked maps of all time, so maps such as Buried, Mob of the Dead and Origins, which were added and gave less and less of a reason for a player to actually play Transit. Origins, with its great story, challenging gameplay, and lots to do, clearly outshines Transit, but I think Transit stood on its own when it was the only map in the game. But it just doesn't hold up as well when compared to the maps which came after it. It's no secret that most zombies YouTubers hate Transit. Many rants can be found online complaining about it even years after its release, but I think that if everyone with an influence said they liked it from the start, then many people in the community would think of the map completely differently. Content creators have a lot of influence on people, and I'm not saying that the map is amazing and should be loved, but I think that it's easy to make a video trashing Transit, and once the map being bad was a popular opinion, saying that you liked it would almost discredit you, and when you enjoy a map, that should be all that matters. Transit, as it came to be known as, was hated by most players, even if it was because it was the mainstream thing to do. YouTube comments of people enjoying Transit don't need comments below them trying to put the person or the map down just because of a difference in opinion in a zombie game. Black Ops 2 was my first ever Call of Duty. Every day I would go to my friend's house and play split screen Transit. Being 8 years old, we probably saw more of the loading screen than the actual map, but this didn't matter because it was just fun to play. We didn't know what a good map or a bad map looked like, we just knew that we had fun playing this one. and with better maps coming out, does not make any of the old ones any worse. Yes, Transit has a lot of annoying features, but for me, the nostalgia it holds means I will never be able to put it at the bottom of any list. I personally only started to dislike Transit after I had started watching YouTubers who had this opinion. I had always thought the map was great until my young brain was convinced that I hated it by funny people on the internet whose opinions came across as a fact to me. And they managed to convince me to hate the thing that I played the most and absolutely adored. When people hate on Transit and then say that Kino is
the best zombies map of all time,
I just think, what did Kino do for zombies? At least Transit tried something new. I also believe that if you put Transit below the first 3 World at War maps, then you are way overhating on Transit, because I see no world where I'd choose to play Narked over it. But this could be very well because I have none of the nostalgic love for World at War, which I know a lot of the community does. So in the end, hardware limitations and some bad design decisions made Transit highly controversial, but I think that it is overhated and it will always hold a place in my heart as the map which got me hooked on the game I still play now, almost 10 years later. Subscribe.